Hello there. So today I'm going to do a little review of the Hohner harmonica case L. I've been using it for the past 4 months, and I have a pretty good grasp on what it's about and some really great ways to use it, and also just some of the pros and cons and what this guy's really about. So anyway, let's have a look at the actual product itself. So looking at the exterior, we can see it's kind of neoprene style fabric, 2-shell construction. The black is really great because if you get some kind of stain on it or someone spills whatever it is, coffee or something, it's not going to get really dirty, and so it looks great. No matter the weather, we'll say, sometimes it can get a bit dusty, especially if it's on the ground or something, when you're at a rehearsal. The stitching on the strap up here is fairly robust. It's not going anywhere. And same thing with all these seams here, they're great. The zipper little rubber tab things, they've lasted over the past 4 months that I've been using this, and I've been using it every day pretty robustly, but I still would not give these too firm of a yank. Moving on, we go to the straps. So the straps are affixed fairly well, although you can see the stitching here I think it could be done stronger, but this being said, it's getting the job done, and it follows all the way across here. So I would say it's sufficient for the job. Same thing on the other side, and it's really nice that they have them going in the opposite direction, so it lays really nicely across the body as you're wearing it, which is how I prefer to do it. As you move along the strap, it's adjustable, which is awesome, and the material's very strong. The one thing that I am quite disappointed in, however, is the actual shoulder pad on the strap. So as you can see, it's come apart a couple times. I've mended it a few times, but it hasn't held super well. So here you can probably see the stitching that I've done, but even that's starting to come apart. So you probably have to replace this at some point. I should. So in that sense, this part is probably not the best quality, and I'm not stoked about it. But it's made up for in the rest of the product itself. This is a relatively small issue compared to everything else. So let's have a look inside in just a moment. So now let's have a look inside. So I'm playing at university, and so I need to have all of my instruments available in short notice. So what that means for me is that I need to have one chromatic harmonica in 64 holes, and then I have one of each diatonic harmonica in a key, and then I have a 12-hole CX12 in B flat, and so that allows me to read trumpet music in jazz classes, because of course there's no harmonica music, and then I have the other 6 diatonic harmonicas over here. So let's get a little bit into the design of the case. So there's a spot for a chromatic harmonica here, and then there's individual pouches for diatonic harmonicas, and they fit in and come out pretty easily. Here is the chromatic harmonica spot. As you'll notice, I had a little bit of difficulty taking that out, and that's because the stitching on the inside here sometimes does get caught a little bit, and so I've torn a couple threads that way. It hasn't been too big of an issue. These elastics are nice and tight, so even though I've been using it for a couple months, you can see they become a little bit looser, but they're still holding everything really well. Nothing's shifting at all in transport or anything at all. There's this nice Velcro case. Obviously the idea is to take it off and put it in your checked luggage. What I keep in here are a couple of things that you need. Shim, for obvious reasons. A couple of Allen keys. These are for basically intonating guitars, because people always need those. And then a couple of screwdrivers to adjust the action on your harmonica, which you need to do more than you think you need to, unfortunately. On the other side, there's plenty of spots for more diatonic harmonicas. Theoretically, you could fit 2 in each of these, but I prefer to use these for my wireless systems, and then also to hold my little adapter for my harmonica microphone. Unfortunately, my Bulletini microphone doesn't fit here as well as I would like it to. So you can force it to fit in the case just fine. It's a little bit of a tight fit into the strap here, but the problem is that once you close it, it bulges and it has a really hard time closing. And you really don't want to have too much compression between all these instruments, right? Because they're all quite valuable. So I'd rather just have a separate case for this thing. Maybe a silverfish microphone would work for that, but taking this on the road, you'd have to bring your microphone separately. But most venues that you play at have, you know, like an SM58 or something that you're going through anyways, so it's not a big issue. And then I kind of had to jury rig this spot for the CX12 because it's not actually fitting in here quite well. Because I have the Super 64 here, the CX12 does not fit in this strap, although theoretically you should be able to fit a harmonica in here. And then this case here is for guitar picks, because guitarists always forget everything. Then there's also this nice handy dandy pouch. So there I keep a capo in here, a couple pens, microfiber cloth. Usually I keep a couple of silica gel packets just to help dry out everything. So, you know, I can finish rehearsal, just put everything away. I don't have to wait for everything to dry off. A couple of alcohol wipes, great for cleaning off your instruments. And then a little music book so I can notate things or take down people's contact address, things like that. Maybe get someone's digits. Yeah, so overall, pretty great. You have to be a little bit creative, but it fits everything that I need for a typical day at classes or basically any gig that I would come to. I mean, theoretically, you could fit a harmonica in here, but it would be kind of a tight squeeze and the harmonica wouldn't be secure. Here is the other place you could fit this microphone, or you inch this over and then affix it here, or you put in a metronome. But again, it's whether you want things loose in your case, which I don't really recommend. I've thought about putting in a strap of my own, sewing it in here, but the fabric is not super conducive to that. But overall, you can really get quite a bit stuck into this whole thing, and it seals up nice and tightly without any issues and with very little bulging, right? If something's bulging, then it's pushing against the case and you know that it's potentially damaging your instruments, right? But overall, quite portable. So just to get an idea of, you know, how it sits on the body, I usually wear it something like here, or in the back, just underneath the backpack. It's really quite portable, comfortable to wear. You can run with it without too many issues, and it looks pretty sleek. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this. It served me quite well. Really convenient, functional, useful. I used to have to take about 3 cases, one for my chromatic, one for the other chromatic, and then one of those 6 harmonica cases. And then I used to have a, one second. Oh, I used to use a Shure SM58 bag with like 6 loose harmonicas in there, and it was always a pain to find everything, but now it's all organized. So this is, overall, I definitely recommend this. You know, I sent an email to Hohner about the strap, and they said they would look at, you know, fixing the quality on those. But overall, pretty good. For the price point, it's really good. I know, I think it's Seidel also makes a similar kind of product, but it's more geared towards diatonic players. And so, you know, I play both, and it's very important to me to have a case that can accommodate both these needs. It'd be really great if it was just a tiny bit deeper, so then I could fit my microphones and my metronomes in it, but maybe that's a job for the XL. The other really great thing about this is that it fits right in your, what do you call that? I guess it fits right underneath the seats on planes. You'll see a video of that. But it's really great to have this because you can take your backpack on a plane, and then you take your harmonica case on the plane with you. You know, you usually kind of hide it underneath so that way they don't catch you with it. And then you can keep it underneath your seat, and then you don't have to worry about, you know, putting it in check baggage or any of these other things. And especially when you have the valuable instruments, it's really important to keep everything close to you, make sure nothing gets lost or stolen or anything like that. So it's really good to have those on the plane as well. And it's much better than, say, like my improvised harmonetic case, which is just a headphone case with a harmonetic inside. So overall, pretty great value, especially when you compare it to all the other things available on the market, which is basically that Seidel one, which is about the same price. And then, there's a couple of leather harmonica cases on Etsy and things like that, but those are really catered towards the diatonic market. And I don't know how much they would actually protect your instrument. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. It'd be nice if a couple of these quality concerns were addressed. But overall, if you think that this suits your need, especially if you're traveling a lot, and you're going to a lot of venues, it really helps with the organization. And it's definitely a lot better than those Fender cases where it's like loose harmonicas all over the place and it's like, Lord, save yourself. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, have a nice day, guys. So just one last thought. Open, it does fit on a music stand, but with all the weight, it's a little bit precarious. So that's one other thing to think about.